Welcome back, YouTube. It is Saiko, and today we are here back with another video in our 30 teams in 30-day series. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks. But before we even get into the video, if you guys could please hit the like button and also hit subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications so that way you don't miss out on another video. I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm almost there, so if you guys could please hit the subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. And I'm pretty sure that Giannis would too. So obviously, a few months ago, the Bucks just won the NBA championship, and for the most part, they were actually able to keep their championship roster together. They did lose PJ Tucker to the Heat, which I think is probably the biggest blow to this team. But I think that having Bryn Forbes go back to the Spurs and having Jeff Teague just kind of sit in the free agent market wasn't a bad idea for them. They were able to re-sign Bobby Portis to stretch the floor, and also Thanasis, who is Giannis's older brother, to average 35 claps and high fives a game. A few other guys like Rodney Hood, Semi Ojeleye, Tremont Waters, they all were able to sign here, and a bunch of other random dudes who I don't even know who they are. They might be second round picks. And George Hill came back after being traded to OKC in Philly. They also got Grayson Allen for a second round draft pick, which I think is a steal in my opinion. And I think that this team starting lineup is basically going to be what it was before the Donte DiVincenzo injury in the playoffs. So basically it's going to be the same as it was in the regular season. Jrue Holiday is going to be at the 1. DiVincenzo is going to be at the 2. Cash Money, Chris Middleton is going to be at the 3. Giannis will be at the 4. And Brook Lopez is going to be the 5. I just want to make a quick side note that apparently Donte DiVincenzo is still injured. So we might see Pat Connaughton or Grayson Allen actually being the starting 2 until he comes back. Off the bench, I see guys like George Hill, Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, Jordan Noir, and Bobby Portis being the main guys in rotation for them. You could substitute Jordan Noir for Semi Ojeleye depending on how Noir plays defensively. Jrue Holiday is literally a top 5 player in the league for me right now in terms of my favorites, not top 5 as in top 5. He's a top 5 favorite player of mine right now. I've been raving about Jrue Holiday ever since the year where the Pelicans made it to the playoffs. I think it was like Anthony Davis's second to last year there. Just throughout that whole season and in the playoffs, he just showed how valuable he was, just how great he was. And I really think that's when I really recognized, like, hey, this guy is a really solid player. He might not always be consistent on offense, but you sure as hell know what you're going to get from him defensively. He's going to come in, play decently on offense, and guard the hell out of whoever the hell he has to defend on defense. I just love Jrue Holiday, man. I really wish that the Clippers got him just because I think he would have been the perfect point guard there. But obviously, him in Milwaukee was one of the biggest things that helped them win that championship. So, I mean, I can't even knock it. Donte DiVincenzo is a guy that I see who is a pretty decent ball handler, great on defense, a really nice two-way player for the Bucks. And I think he fits pretty well with Jrue. My only issue with him is the fact that I just want him to stay healthy because it feels like for the past years, or at least ever since he's been in the league, he's never been consistently healthy. And I think that's kind of the big thing that's going to be talked about when he gets his extension, because I do see him getting an extension, but it's just dependent on how much and how healthy he can be. Cash Money Chris Middleton is a guy who's going to score buckets and play defense. He's the number 2 to Giannis, and I do know that a lot of people were questioning if he could actually be the best player on this team, and my answer to that is hell no. He's a great guy in the clutch, and he's also the Robin to Giannis's Batman. He's not the best player, but he's the guy that can come in clutch, especially during crunch time when you really need a bucket. Kind of like what Kyrie was for LeBron in the 2016 finals. Giannis is probably the most humble person in this damn league. The man has 2 MVPs. He is a defensive player of the year. He just won a championship. He signed a supermax $228 million contract. And yet you see this dude literally hanging out at the local state fair instead of going to Vegas to party. I remember when Giannis signed his supermax contract, everyone in the whole damn NBA Twitter sphere and just NBA fans in general were really questioning if he made the right decision or not. And I think it's safe to say that he did make that right decision. He's a champion, and his loyalty to this really small market team really paid off. And I don't expect him to settle after winning this championship. I think he's still going to be as hungry as ever to win another chip. I really, really do respect the hell out of Giannis. From growing up with nothing in Greece, having to sell, like, you know, shades, sunglasses, and stuff on the streets, to getting his first NBA contract to where he didn't even know if his family could come to the US. The passing of his father and the uncertainty on if he was actually ever going to win anything in the NBA in terms of a championship. He's had one hell of a life, and now he's a father too. Keep it up, Giannis. I don't think I could ever see myself rooting against you. I'll always be rooting for you, dude. Like, I'm just rooting for you to be successful. And I mean, you already are. Not gonna lie, all of those things that I said about Giannis, now that we have to talk about Brook Lopez, I don't really think it's gonna live up to what I said about Giannis. or be as long. Brook Lopez was probably the perfect center you could actually put right next to Giannis. He was a guy who in Brooklyn had his back to the basket all the time to now going to the Lakers and then being on the Bucks and being a guy to stretch the floor and just pretty much shoot threes. He's not a great rebounder, but I mean, he can protect the hell out of the rim, that's for sure. And when Giannis is out, his back to the basket game is still there, so we obviously know that he still has that in his arsenal. George Hill had his best years shooting the 3-ball when he was on the Bucks. He's an above average 3-point shooter who can also play defense. I think my only problem is the fact that he's like, what, 36 at this point, so he's a lot older, but I mean, I still think that he'll be a decent role player for the Bucks this year. Grayson Allen was such a key part to the Grizzlies team last year, and now he's on the Bucks. He's a super gritty player that might get ejected here and there, but I mean, he's still a really good solid ball handler as well. I think he's going to be a really good piece for this rotation, so I think this was a great pickup for the Bucks, especially for just a second-round pick. Pat Connaughton is going to do what he's done the last couple of years, which was shoot the ball and also get dunks. He was a pretty key player in the Bucks rotation last year as well. Jordan Noir is a guy that I can see cracking the rotation because of how well he's played in preseason. He's also shown flashes of defense along with his ability to score. If he can keep up that solid defense, then I can definitely see him getting rotational minutes. But unfortunately, he's no PJ Tucker, so he can't really replace that role. But they do have Semi Ojeleye, who is similarly built to PJ Tucker to kind of fill that role because he can play defense and shoot the 3. But that's only if Noir doesn't really pan out as this solid defender, or at least decent defender in the rotation. Bobby Portis was a really important part to this Bucks team last year, and I'm really glad that Giannis was able to convince him to re-sign. He's a guy who can get rebounds, block shots, and shoot. He's also just a really tough guy all around as well. I mean, the man literally punched Niko Mirotic out of the league. And apparently his pregame ritual is that he imagines everyone on the opposing team slapping his mother so that way he can play a lot more angrier. Yeah, that's odd as fuck, but I mean, do you, Bobby? As for this team's record, I originally had them being the 2nd seed, but with all the Kyrie Irving drama that has literally popped up within the last few days, I can actually see them being the 1 seed. Mind you, I'll talk about the Kyrie drama in a different video when I get to the Nets. This team just won a chip a few months ago, and I can't imagine them wanting to settle just for that. They could definitely make it to the finals again if the whole Kyrie Irving Nets situation doesn't really pan out like they want it to. Either way, they're still a contender for sure, even without PJ Tucker. I still see them as a team that can make it to the finals if everything goes right for them. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that the Bucks got better this year, or do you think that the loss of PJ Tucker actually made them worse? Are they still a championship contender in your eyes? I mean, obviously they probably are, but do you think that they can make it back to the finals this year? Let me know in the comment section down below. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please rate, comment, and subscribe for more content. My name is Saiko, and I will catch you tomorrow for another 30 teams in 30 days on the Los Angeles Clippers. Bye, guys.